Hello, this is Jcamera here, and today we're going to be looking at some more LEGO minifigure collectibles in blind bags. This time it's the LEGO Looney Tunes blind bag minifigure series, age 5 plus, set number 71030, released in 2021, I think, with 12 minifigures to collect. So here's the packaging, the longer packaging, and it's all in white. Let me just compare this to the Simpsons style. So here's the comparison. So you can see there's a big difference between the two of them. So let's take a look at the checklist. It has like Bugs Bunny of the That's All Folks icon there. And here we have the instructions on how to build many of the more complicated accessories for the characters. And here's the checklist of all 12 minifigures. Each we'll be going through in this video. Okay, let's begin. First up is Lola Bunny in her Space Jam attire, because her first appearance was in the Space Jam 1996 movie. I'll admit that does really make her stick out like a sore thumb, because everyone else is just their classic Golden Age cartoon appearances, except for her. I'll admit I'm not the biggest fan of Space Jam either, which does not help, but regardless, this is a good translation of her design in the movie, and she is a popular Looney Tunes character in the modern age, so I guess I'm not complaining she's in here, but maybe we could have gone with the 2010 show, the new Looney Tunes show. That would have been better, and even then, there's maybe other characters I would have picked before her, but she's not bad. She's a reasonably good figure to have here, but only reasonably. And she comes with the basketball accessory, just this little sphere piece. Next up is Bugs Bunny, who's basically the main character of Looney Tunes. Like, if you just had to narrow it down to one character, I think most people, if not everyone, will say Bugs Bunny. Even if he's not necessarily people's favorite, but regardless, here he is. He comes with a tail as back printing, and a carrot as accessory. He has a light grey color scheme, which looks really good. I think dark grey would have worked pretty good with him too, but light grey I think fits just as well. I also like that he's got footprinting on there, which is real nice. And fun fact, this was the first figure in the lineup that I actually got, which was very ironic. Next up is E Coyote, who, fun fact, was the final character that I got. Well, him and Patunia Pig, anyway. He has toe printing and a tail piece. And he comes with an anvil as an accessory to help stop the Roadrunner in his tracks and to try and beat him. Next up is the arch rival to E Coyote, the Roadrunner himself. He comes with this, like, bird seeds as accessories. I'll admit it looks like popcorn to me, but I don't know. When it comes to popcorn, I associate it with being yellow. Even though I'm pretty sure with Lego it's always been white, but I could be wrong. And he comes with a lot of pieces with this one accessory in particular, but also an extra feather on top and this really big tail. And he doesn't have the traditional Lego arms. Instead, he has feathers, which is accurate to the Warner Brother cartoons. I'll admit, storing him next to the other figures with the base plate is a little awkward, but to be fair, there was no other way to translate this character, and he stands out as one of the most unique in the series, which is a definite plus in my book. It should also be noted that he has no printing on the torso, but he does have toe printing on the legs. Another cute and precious character is Tweety Bird, who comes with this big jackhammer to hit Sylvester with when he tries to eat him. It's this really adorable face and very minimal printing, but that's because the characters have generally basic and simple cartoony designs, making them easy for translation, as long as you have molded heads, of course. Very bright yellow with like bright light orange or something for the legs, and I think he turns out really well. Speaking of Tweety, he is the arch rival Sylvester. He comes with a baseball bat and is pretty colourful with black and white and then red, a very bright red nose, which makes him stand out. He has dual molded black and white leg printing and a tail that's dual molded. And the white surprisingly blends well on the minifigure, especially as many minifigures don't do that very well, blending black and white together, but this is one where it surprisingly pulls off efficiently. Next up is the fan favourite Daffy Duck, coming with a rabbit season accessory, which I'll admit does kind of make me wish that Bugs Bunny came with a duck season sign, but I don't know, the carrot is more iconic, and Daffy doesn't really have anything to go with for accessories, so it makes sense, because the season with him, Bugs, and Elmer Fudd is one of the most iconic. Most of the accessories in general are pretty generic, but there are some callback accessories, and I think this is the most specific of the callback accessories. He has a very striking, memorable design with the black tailpiece, which is usually seen in white with like the Disney ducks, but in black it makes it look cool. And the orange also fits well, like how Sylvester had the white go well. And I think out of the Looney Tunes characters, the most popular would be Daffy. He does have printing on the torso, which I'll admit I didn't notice at first until I got him, but that's just meant to be fair detailing. Next up is Speedy Gon Valale. I hope I pronounced that right. The Spanish-Mexican mouse. He has 2 cheese lobes as accessories, but when you get him brand new, he comes with 4, so I gave him 4 for that reason. I'll admit he's probably one of the weaker minifigures. I think he's a good choice, but what makes him a little weaker than the other figures is that he doesn't have a dual molded tail when he should have, because he's wearing gloves, and it makes him look like he's got a bit of a belly going on, which he does not in his cartoons. So that's very odd, but the headpiece is really well done with this really big, fantastic hat and bow tie and face that perfectly resembles the character, although that the same can be said for every character. Each face does capture their personalities pretty much perfectly. Next up is the Tasmanian Devil, who, if you've noticed, is the only character that I didn't give the base plate to, because he doesn't need one, having this, and doesn't really connect on there at all. I mean, you could try to, but you have to take this blue piece off, and that does be lying around somewhere, and I do not want that. He comes with generic food accessories with a piece of chicken and a pie. He has no back printing. He has generic tail, toe printing. I don't even think he's got, torso printing. Let me just take off the headpiece for him. Yeah, as you can see, there's nothing on him. And he has probably the biggest of the heads, not including, ears. Wile E. Coyote's head's pretty big, but he has one of the bigger heads, and his is the only one that extends to the torso. In general, he's one of the more unique minifigures. And with this piece, you can sort of have him, spin around like he does in the cartoons. So let's try that. Good job, kind of. Next up is Marvin the Martian, who might be the most unique minifigure besides either the Tasmanian Devil or Roadrunner, because he's the only minifigure in this collection to not include a molded headpiece. Instead, he has a generic minifigure headpiece that just has these big eyes. Then he has this, like, Trojan helmet on top. Which makes sense as he has a very tiny head in the cartoons and this really big helmet. And I think the effect wears much better and it makes him more recyclable for Lego. Speaking of which, he has this cool ray gun in a lime green kind of color and a like skirt piece in like it's not in plastic. He has toe printing, no torso printing, a very simple but effective figure that captures a very cool Martian. The penultimate minifigure in this lineup is Patunia Pig, probably the most obscure Looney Tunes characters in this collection, because Patunia Pig's usually just there to fill up a roster, and that's definitely the case in this CMF. Although, in the recent Looney Tunes movie, she was like one of the key characters in the film. The Day the Earth Blew Up or something. It came out like this year or something. She comes with a pot and tea to have. She has flesh, like just that color for Patunia Pig, and red and yellow. Very popping colors. And the final character in this CMF is Porky Pig, the straight man of the Looney Tunes roster. He comes with a That's All Folks sign, which other characters did kind of steal from him in some cartoons, particularly Bugs Bunny, but usually it was Porky Pig. He has a very striking design with pretty similar to Patunia. I think maybe even the same. Okay, not the same legs. They have the same toe printing, but if you take a look, like she has like dual molded white printing underneath as well. Porky does not. And very simple but effective printing. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about him. So there you have it. That concludes this CMF of Lego minifigures. I'll admit 12 is a very underwhelming number because there's so many Looney Tunes characters they could have added. Like, where's Yosemite Sam? Where's Elmer Fudd? Pepe Le Pew? I mean, Pepe Le Pew's cancelled, I think. So that's probably why he didn't make the cut. But, like, the Witch Hazel character, the Grandma character, I'm trying to think who else. Foghorn Leghorn, you could have had him. Or, like, Chicken Hawk. And, the Barnyard Dog you could have had. So many characters, but by this point they were shrinking up the roster. All of these figures also appeared about the same time, like 2 or 3 times, I think. As far as the future of Looney Tunes and Lego goes, in terms of minifigures at least, I don't think we'll be getting anything more. Like, there's more characters they're missing, but I don't know if Lego ever would do it, because it's been nearly 5 years already, and they still haven't done it. And I don't know if they would have enough to fill up another 12 characters. Like, there's still some key characters that are missing, but who knows? Maybe we'll get something, but we probably won't. Regardless, I'm glad to have collected these. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all later.